What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now, I believe that Solana is preparing to make an incredibly important decision pretty soon here, which is going to impact and affect where its price goes over the next couple months. And so with that in mind, I wanted to share that with you today, talk a little bit about what's going on, how I'm preparing for it, and much more. And so with that in mind, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, guys, please don't forget, if you do use my CoinW link down in the description below, you can get rewards of up to $30,000 right now. And to trade on CoinW, you don't need the VPN, and you also don't need the KYC, meaning you don't need to give them any of your personal info. You can just simply start trading, which is exactly how I like it. So make sure that you do go down to the links down below and get your chance at up to $30,000. Now, looking at Solana, what we can see is that, again, it's about to make an incredibly important decision. Now, you may say, Tyler, what is that decision? Well, the decision is whether or not we are going to see the 618 to 786 micro Fibonacci box broken to the upside, or whether we're going to continue to venture down into the macro 618 to 786 box to the downside. Now, what's interesting about this is that where we are right now is actually extremely healthy. And let me explain why. What we can see is that Solana's price had a point of resistance right back here around $125. Now, this wasn't just a random point of resistance. This was a point of resistance that was established on top of the 618 to 786 box on this massive all-time high to bear market low. So we've already said the $125 to $68 level is the most important Fibonacci zone that Solana's ever had. And well, what happened was that although we built up resistance here and of course here, Solana's price was able to break above that. And once you open this door, once you clear this level, the door to the upside is now open. The door to $600 for Solana is now open. And of course, that's why this move was so important. But of course, as you all know, most good things have to come to an end. And this rally that we were seeing did slow down with the network congestion we were seeing and the general market itself pulling back. What happened from that point forward was that its price went a little bit sideways for a couple of weeks here before inevitably pulling all the way back down towards this $124 level, retesting this previous point of resistance. Now, you guys know we were doing a ton of buying at this exact level. The majority of that reason being because the HG algo, which is my company's indicator, was giving us the DCA plus signal, which is a buy signal. This signal says, look, this is time to buy. This is extremely important. It picked up on the fact that we were overextended. It picked up on the fact that we were retesting a point of resistance and gave us this signal. And you guys know I do the majority of my investing based off of this signal. I mean, you saw it yourself, a couple months ago. We were talking about the fact that the last time that the daily DCA signal went off, this thing went up literally 1,000% on Solana. It was telling people to buy way back here at the very bottom, around $17, around $10, etc. And so the fact that we were seeing this indicator flashing here was a huge indicator to say that, look, we're probably getting overextended. We might be looking for a bounce pretty soon. And since the indicator did go off, what you can see is that we're now up roughly 30%. So of course, guys, don't forget, you can go check it out in the description down below. It is my company's indicator. So I'm going to give you a 30-day money back guarantee, meaning I will refund you in 30 days if you don't like the product. And on top of that, I'll give you 20% off if you do use my link down in the description below. But overall, that's the recap of what's happened up until this point. Of course, we did see that signal go off, leading us until this point here. Now, what I mentioned before was that this was a very healthy spot. This was a very important spot. And the reason being is because now we are in a position in which, although we did get a back test, we are seeing successful support establishment, and we're seeing the bulls stepping in the moments in which we need them to. And so although the market's not really been that good during April, this is a very healthy bounce that we're seeing. And I think that it's going to open up some doors for either maybe a little bit more consolidation or a stronger push to the upside. Now, as I mentioned before, Solana is about to make an important decision. Let's get to what that decision is. And as I mentioned before, it was whether or not we were going to clear this zone or this zone. Now, why is that so important? The reason that this decision is so important of whether or not we're going to clear this zone or whether we're going to venture back into this zone is because, as I mentioned before, that is going to be the determining factor of where Solana's price goes for the next couple months. I am under the belief that if Solana's price is capable of breaking the 618 to 786 zone to the top side between $184 to $170, meaning it clears $185, that we will very likely see Solana's price at some given point, maybe it'll pull back a little bit, or maybe it'll go sideways, or maybe it'll continue upwards, that we will see it come back up to retest $284 and actually retest its all-time high. I'm actually very confident in that, because generally speaking, when we clear the 618 to 786 zone, we do start to look for the continuation up towards some of these breakout targets of 200 $237 or $284. So of course, yes, it is extremely important that if Solana is capable of breaking this zone, because again, we might see a push all the way back to the all-time highs. So that's decision number one. But as I mentioned before, there are no guarantees here. You guys know crypto summer is usually dead. May, June, July, August, go look it up. Usually pretty rough months. Sometimes May is okay, but oftentimes we peak in May. And then June, July, August, and sometimes even September is just ugly. It's boring. And knowing that, and knowing we also have this 618 to 786 zone sitting right here, possibly going to reject us to the downside, I am still remaining a little bit skeptical that we might see some sort of course, A, B, C, right here, correction back to the downside and look for a continuation. And so that's the reason why I'm saying Solana is about to make an important decision. It's either going to clear this zone, and we're really looking for a strong push back up to what could be the all-time high, or it's not going to clear this zone. We're going to get rejected by this zone and possibly continue even lower back to it could be as low as $100. Now I think you understand why this situation is so kind of fragile a bit and why it is so important that we pay very close attention to how Solana interacts with this key level as it does approach the 618 to 786 box between $170 and $184. So the only thing that I'm doing right now is my normal dollar cost average. I buy a little bit of Solana every week. I do believe it's going to $600. And so, of course, because of that, I will continue to buy it because that is still a 4X from here, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not going long. I'm not doing any super big leverage trading or anything like that on Solana until we can see whether or not it's going to make the decision to clear this $170 to $184 level, or whether it's going to get rejected and continue downwards or sideways through what could be, again, to as low as $100. And so because of that, knowing how important of a decision is going to be made, knowing that it literally could just go up or it could go down, and there's no way for us to know what's going to happen at this point, I am just kind of holding back, watching closely, seeing what happens, and not making too many emotional moves at this point. So I will continue to update you. Guys, don't forget you can get the indicator for 20% off with a 30-day refund guarantee. Down in the description below, you saw the 30% gain that I just made here, and there are many more to come. So make sure that you do check that out if you are interested. But overall, I can't wait to update you with more information of whether or not we're going to see Solana's price be able to make a break to the upside or need to go into a little bit more sideways movement or a little downtrend or something like that. So please make sure that you do subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel and you want to stay as up to date as possible with what Solana is doing. And make sure you also like this video so that you know, or so that you can let other people know that you enjoyed it, and hopefully they do come check out the video as well. But overall, that's about it for today's video, and I can't wait to see you all soon in the next one. Peace out, everybody.